Hello, welcome back to another YouTube video you guys are all watching right now. We are back again with more Genshin Impact today on about 10th of May over here currently right now as I'm recording this video. So today we're actually going to talk a little bit about the upcoming patches and Snezhnaya that's currently coming out as well, by the way, yeah.
From what I saw in the live stream, just this Friday, afterward, they completely showcased in the whole entire program itself. It was a huge hype. We had a lot of teasers about trailers and etc. for Snezhnaya, but Nicole looks pretty solid though. Looks like a really good character. But I think if we were to really talk about like the difference in terms of like damage or like meta wise, it doesn't make much difference between her and Bennett. It seems, by the way, the only biggest difference is that aesthetically it's a huge improvement. Whether if you guys really like Nicole because of her aesthetics and her animations and the way she looks and the way she combats, yeah, go for it. But does the damage difference and the way that it's important for you and not? No. Because apparently what's happening right now is that C6 Bennett is also free, by the way, right? So C6 Bennett currently right now is literally on par with Nicole C0, by the way. So and that's just the line gap that you are going for, C0 and Nicole. If you're going for C2 and etc., then you're basically a whaler. It doesn't matter how much gems you have hold, by the way. So if you're a C2, then of course, yeah, that's going to be a huge improvement in terms of more than Bennett because you're running a C2 or like C4 Nicole, by the way. Yeah, but that's the kind of topic not for free-to-play players, by the way. For free-to-play players, they would aim for C0. But the issue with Nicole currently right now is that she doesn't have a lot of teams. You can actually use her in most of the teams like Alakino, Lohan, Varka team, and a couple of other teams that you like to use because you like to use. Yeah. But it's a kind of a situation where you have to know whether you want to get her or not, because Sandrone is literally right behind her patch, and she's a character that's releasing with the new reaction for Snezhnaya itself called Stellar Conduct. So people are kind of worried and in fear right now that if you're not going to be able to get a character like Sandrone with the Stellar Conduct reaction, you're going to be most likely cooked for Snezhnaya's opening itself because you don't have the reaction that you want to get itself, by the way. And because of that whole entire situation that's coming out, and most likely that Sandrone will be a character that you will be able to pair up with characters like Nicole and Lohan apparently. But then again, if you are the type of character, you only have 60 pulls, by the way, guys, in the current next 6.6 patch, by the way. Free to play players get about 60 pulls. With walk-in, you get about 80, by the way. So you don't have a lot of pulls left in that patch unless you say from Linear and patch and then you skip the Linear, by the way, right? So if that's really the case, then you're not going to be able to get a lot of polls for Sandrone. Yeah, and people want to try to get Sandrone because they have a new reaction itself, and this reaction is one of like the strongest one opening up Snezhnaya itself. So there's a support or like a DPS called Vodia Nitsa or something like that in 7.0. This is still subject to change, and which is going to be most likely teaming up with Sandrone in one team apparently. So you would have the first Snezhnaya team reaction ready for you to combat for Snezhnaya itself, which is going to be a huge upgrade for you. But do you need that team or not? How are you going to actually survive with just Nicole and with your old team DPS? Now, that might be a huge situation that might be a little bit bad for you because, like I said before, the damage difference for Nicole C0 is on par with Bennett. All you have done is invested on basically a female character aesthetically to improve the way she looks and she combat because you like it. But it doesn't really make a huge difference in terms of like meta or damage difference because Bennett performs the same, and at the end of the day you can just use him and just move on with the end games and etc. Because clearly people are not going to sit there and always use a character like Bennett always, by the way. People are just going to throw him into a a base or Theta or like Stygian and just use him and then clear the endgame moods and just get off and then switch a different team for open world exploration and just move on, by the way, kind of type, right? But with Nicole coming out, maybe aesthetically you might like in character, you like her performance, you like her combat, you like the way her animations looks like. That's just it. Yeah. So it depends who you want to prioritize, who you have, and etc. is important. But you get Nicole, you don't have enough polls for Sandrone, you have to get her on a rerun. That's entirely up to you guys, though. But yes, one way though, in or another, it will be most likely. I think my opinion is that it's going to be rough without having Sandrone apparently for Snezhnaya currently right now. This is the meta that's going around right now, and most likely will be the confirmed meta.
Alright, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in another one. See ya.